like sliced bread, but it does not mean that you are hireable or that you're a global talent. So that I would tie those qualities or skills to what it means to be a global talent. So you can be a local professional. Many people we all start that way. You get a job in Lagos or Ibadan or Ekiti, and then you went out of school, you started doing the job. You're a local professional. But we're talking global talent. That is a personality. That is that person. That person moves as an asset. Do you understand? You are not, I see people, they're like, I'm looking for a job. Hey, please, they come with this beggarly attitude. Hey, please, just help me. I just need an international remote job. You've missed it. That's the foundation. You are not a beggar. You are an asset. So there's a thinking that you have. I remember my very first remote job, my manager gave me feedback. And that's where I'll pick the first quality from. And she said, Dami, you are not thinking holistically as an entrepreneur. I was an independent contributor. You know what they call an independent contributor? Carry this chair from this place and go and drop it there. And you do it every day. Do you understand? Yes, ma'am. Do you understand? My tax was clear. I was taking that. I was an AI software project. It was a big company, global company, but I was an independent contributor. But she challenged you like, Dami, if you are looking at building yourself as a global, you've got to think. So you're thinking, that's the first thing. You've got to think like an entrepreneur. Do you understand? Like, you must be thinking of the business, not the carrying of the chair. So when I've carried the chair, what will it mean? How does it impact the business? What needle will it move? What difference will it make? That's the only way you can be a global talent. That's the way you can be attractive. Saying, okay, I know you are hiring me to carry chair, but this is how it's going to affect your business. You will scale this way, you will retain customer this way, you would make more money this way, you will expand you will retain employee this way, you will engage employee. You must always, there are like 5 ways to measure business impact, like holistically. So you must always think of, how does my role contribute to this business? Entrepreneurial thinking. That's the first one. The second one, I'm going to tie it all together, is that you must be a leader. So many people think, if I'm not a manager level professional, we call it C2, C1, however you call it, there are so many skills to use right there. But they'll think, I'm not a manager, I'm not leading a team, why should I think like a leader? But every global talent is a leader. So until you start taking that position and you communicate it clearly, that this is why I'm a leader, you may not attract the best of jobs, the best of opportunities, because that's not your positioning. So you cannot be moving as, tell me what to do and I will do it. I bet it with you. I'm going to do it. You will be happy how I will do it. That's not what they are looking for. Yeah. So if they told you, this is what we want to deliver, you as the leader, so we are talking first of all, self-leadership. You may not even have a team that is reporting to you. You may not be a manager. You see many jobs, I see job description, they call it, you must be a manager of one. And some people misinterpret it and say, oh, does it mean I should be managing somebody under me? They're talking about yourself. Can you by yourself, without unloading, without we telling you what to do every minute, checking your work, can you deliver on that? Can you own? It's tied together with ownership. Can you own a task? So these days, you see some job descriptions, serious minded companies, they are not saying manage and carry again. They are saying own the process end to end. Because they're not looking for jokers. I'll wrap it up with this third trait. The third trait, so we mentioned the first one, think like an entrepreneur. The second one, be a leader. The third one is communication. I see fantastic talent. I'm talking about people who, in their sleep, they can deliver. Good. They are good at their job. Like, tell me, what do you want them to do? I still met one very recently, project manager. What project has she not done? Now articulate your value. Tell me what you can do. Like, just don't, as we are sitting down, you and I, tell me why I should think about bringing you into my business. Because you must think like a founder. Why would I hire you? Do I want to just waste money? Why would I hire you if you're not going to solve my business problems? So I said, articulate, they're like, I need their managed projects. I said, that's not value. And then when you finish, what happens? Being able to communicate and articulate clearly will set you apart. And global employers are always looking for that, guys, every time. So I run a coaching community. Some people, because there are different people, blockers that we see, bottlenecks here and there, some people will come and say that we are getting interviews because we fixed their visibility. We've let them show up their TV, their marketing material, their portfolio shining. They will not come for them for interview. After the first one, she will say, they said that they are no longer proceed. I said you cannot proceed. It's not possible for you to proceed. Tell me what happened, because I always tell them to record their session just with their phone or screen, whatever. Just record your session. And I look at it and say, from your first question of telling me about yourself, you fumble. Even you can hear you. Because you can fix visibility and say, oh, fix everything, say this person is awesome, and then please don't lie. Of course, that's another conversation entirely, that you start your CV, they call you, but they're all bullshit. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you are really that good, but you cannot articulate. So that bottleneck from the very first screening, the recruiter says you cannot proceed. Because why? What happened? What do you think happened during that conversation? Because they saw their resume and they thought they were a good fit, but they talked to them and said, no, you can't proceed, just because they cannot communicate clearly. And some people, they are great talkers, they can engage you, but write it. The head and detail of what they've written in that email, you cannot grasp it. So it's both verbal and written communication, and it comes with practice. And that's the second part of your question. How do we then learn this thing? You learn on the job. You see that your job that you have now, put your head under somebody. Like, listen, learn, read people's email. When I read email, don't just read for information. How did this person deliver their message? How did they establish their authority? How did they remove all the bottlenecks and made everybody clear and adjusted? How did they do this? You must be paying attention. I noticed one of my most recent roles, I noticed a lady, a senior specialist, she's really good. Everybody's always shouting, Dene. I'm like, what is that this DJ? But curious. I moved closer. I would ask that question I even know answer to. Like, because I just want you to teach me. I wanted to tell me. Like, Dene, do you know how we go about talking document? So you will check this one. I know the answer, but just keep talking to me. Because I wanted to know why everybody prefers to work with Dene. You see clients asking for Dene, senior managers asking for Dene. They will take your own project, go give Dene. Wait, what happened? Dene doesn't have to end. So you will pay attention. So I move close. Teach me. So I started assisting now on some of the things, paying attention, entering client meetings. I said, Dene, can I sit in? Of course you can sit in. There's no closed session. I will sit in. I will see how she communicates her ideas. Settle chaos. When things are scattered and there's churn risk, a client wants to leave you, maybe they're holding big money, they send Dene. I'm like, how come you're able to calm mad people? Because there are crazy clients everywhere. Like, how come you're able to reduce churn? Tell me. If there's a legal matter, she's very fluent in legal. So you just move close, learn, read things that they don't even tell you to read. Sit down. Some of you have assets in your company notion page. You're not reading. Sit down and read it now. Consume it. Understand it. It's just being deliberate and intentional. I think I should stop here.
No, it shouldn't. It should continue. You see that last point you gave, right? Wow. Dami, just to buttress that. That last point you gave. It will save a lot of data on NSSPPD and prayer mountains. That last point. Because I'm telling you, all you have to do is just find out who that strongest person in that organization is and humble yourself and learn. This is, I don't know when you did it. I told you this when she invited me at this event. I'm not a big supporter of remote work, and I'll tell you why. And this is my own opinion, me, Shil. I think a lot of people run so early, so quickly into remote and into freelancing, and they miss out from working and gaining skills from people that are very experienced just because they don't want to be accountable. And then God will now bless you, because there's that blessing as well, right? You will now find a client. They will now give you remote work. Again, humility, humbling. This person seems to be like a fly higher. They're flying. You're just like Mr. Khadija. You cannot do it. You can't, please. You cannot measure. You can never catch up with years of experience. You can't. You really need to understand that. So when you see someone that has a quality and something that you admire, rather than think AI can give you that thing, AI can't. This is where you see all those. If you were taking notes and you were actually listening, all those points Danny gave, if you have them, AI can't replace you. Because AI cannot. I don't understand. Will AI ask you to come and sit into a meeting? Will AI tell you, like, give you skills? Like, there's some skills that you can't even almost quantify them. You can't even describe. There's no word to describe them yet. Maybe in 2 years' time there might be, but for now there isn't. But you know, this person, there's something this person has. It might be like, maybe yeah, they are fine, they dress well. When they enter a room, everybody sees them, they talk about them. But once they open their mouth, they send them to meetings that even their manager, they don't send their managers to the meeting. They have a particular skill that nobody has. So why don't you just do what? Take a step back and be like, you know what, this person, I'm gonna follow you everywhere. Just continue. Can I sit in? A lot of us, like she said, like Dami said, she could have not asked that. I want to know, okay, what is the special thing? They like, just, maybe we are going to the mountain, we'll collect the mantle, fine, everything will be okay. Meanwhile, you could actually just sit in and almost shadow this person and give yourself like a 6 months of shadowing this particular client. These clients, every time they're always traveling. You can see that their other colleagues, they don't ask them to travel. You are thinking that it's because the person has British passport and this one has a Kenyan passport, that's why this one is always traveling. It's not. It might be, but not always. Because organizations are looking for who's going to bring them money. So if you lack some basic skills, whether you are working from behind the shadow, like I like to say, behind the shadow, behind the keypad, your quality, that human part, communication, thinking, like an entrepreneur, that is what I don't like the most, because I feel like people don't want to wake up on time. And because you know that they say if you don't get to work at 8:15, they remove your salary. So you just be like, you know what, I own my time, I just wake up and I just do my own thing. I wake up at 9. It's a lie. Go and work. Get to a place whereby if you go there at 8:56, they will remove your salary, or sorry, at maybe 8:06, when you should be at work at 8 o'clock. Yes, if you build that muscle when you are reporting to someone, it is easier to build that muscle when it is just you.
Thank you for that.
Next question. But thank you very much, Dami, for that. I mean, if anybody can recap what she said, I'll help you guys. Thoughts, thinking. What's your thinking process? They said move the chair from A to Z. You're like, oh, that's all they asked me to do. So 5 o'clock, I'm just going to log out. No. How did the chair get there? If they don't build the chair well, when you carry it and move it to B, don't you know it will break along the way? And it will affect your own deliverable. You've not even connected to people that are even building the chair because what? They just said, me, I should just carry the chair and put it there. Okay, the day you are putting it to, have they swept it? Is it accessible for the person that is going to pick it up? How does it look different from the chair you carried yesterday? You are not interested. Your own is, Ejo, has my account's been credited? Then you now wonder, oh, my clients are always going. I don't have any retention, retention. My clients are not staying. I don't know why. They are looking for a particular tool. No. Those 3 things, I'm not going to repeat them because I see that some of you are not writing. You didn't come with book. ALS has book on their stand. Go and get one. You didn't come with book. You're not writing. How are you going to remember? Okay. Are you still laughing? Okay. So, they have phones. Oh, smartphones. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so old school. After I've been writing something. Okay. Why do you think remote work, especially global remote work, is so attractive to young Nigerians? Aside the one that I just said, but please tell us. Okay, you have my hair.
Yeah, this works. So, contrary to what you said.
Yes, please, go on.
Because you clearly are a hater of remote work.
No, I'm not a hater. No, I'm not a hater. Hater is not the right word, please. No. Let me, before you climb on this, please let me correct that opinion. I'm not a hater. What I think is, when you finish school, I think for your 0 to 5 years, you should go and work in a corporate place. That's what I think. And then after that, go. Because you know what? The people that you actually meet in those 0 to 5 years are mostly going to be your first set of clients. And because they know you, and they know what you're trying to get to, right? They will be able to give you feedback. And you will know that they don't hate you. They're not strangers. They know you. They know that she big batoshe. Oh sorry, I'm so sorry. Yoruba girl. They know that you should be when you finish NYC that I met you. Oh, okay, I can really give you feedback. You won't wait. Your $10,000. Nobody's gonna give you $10,000 when you have not delivered $1,000 job in a very good way. So I am not a hater. Let me just correct that because I know that people always think that, and I work for an organization that encourages remote work. So no, I am not a hater, but I think you should still give 0 to 5 years for corporate culture to be imbibed in you. And trust me, there are always going to be a first like who is going to trust you? You think someone that does not know you from Adam or Eve is going to hire you as a VA and give you access to their data page when your mom and your dad has not given you? Like, guys, come on now, let's be real.
Okay.
Please take that back.
I didn't mean it like that. So here's the thing. By and large, I feel I don't even know if I want to continue that line of conversation. So, why are people attracted to remote work? One, there's the obvious money.
The money is good. And you people don't agree. The money is not good. The money is sweet.
We are in a semi-capitalist economy, so yes, your government still does a lot of things. So the easiest way to understand anything is just look at where the money goes. Really. For remote work, you're earning more, probably earning other currencies. You're saving on commute. You're saving on legal loan. You're saving on. So it kind of makes sense. It really does make sense. That's number one. Number two is the lifestyle, the flexibility. I live in Ibadan. I have worked with teams in Singapore, in London, in Utah, in Tulsa, literally everywhere. I can carry my laptop and travel to anywhere and continue working. That is the idea. And the last one would be, sorry, I wrote it down.
What makes it so attractive?
Yeah.
And you're more healthy as well because you spend less time on the road, especially if you live in Lagos.
Are you? Well,
you're more healthier. Like guys. No, hold on, wait. Less stressed. Wait. Oh, okay. Wait, now let me give you an example.
we are not more healthy. I will tell you.
No, tell me.
Your risk of coronary heart disease goes up.
Yeah.
Your risk of obesity goes up. Your risk of diabetes goes down.
That's where your self-discipline comes in. That's where your self-discipline comes in.
I literally don't know anyone who has spent 5 years to a decade working remote that does not have either or. Yeah, that either or. And your spectrum. So it was like I noticed a while ago that I was also going down a path that I did not like. Exactly. And I was like, yeah, we need to do something about it. And we've been doing something about it for a while now. Exactly. Well, we're still doing something about it. So I think that another very big reason is your experience is global and your experience is relevant. So if I put the experience of, I work with these people in this place on my CV, that makes sense to everybody everywhere in the world. If I put, I was this and this, I helped this people scale to 3 countries, that makes sense. They see that they're like, okay, this person knows what they are doing, they've done this across cultures, that is important. And it's easier to communicate that, I am someone that lives in Ibadan and helped a team in Singapore grow their app to 3 more countries. Easily, it's like I put that out there and somebody who is in the US automatically knows that, yeah, this person knows what they're doing. So putting that on your CV is kind of good for you. That's why I am very, very pro remote work, even if you are in a career that requires corporate. I have a younger brother who is a medical person, is more medical. You know what? Reach out to somebody in John Hopkins, reach out to somebody in this place, be a research assistant to this person. Just work with this person for 6 months, for a year. That would look good on your CV. that kind of stuff. So even if you are working in finance, there was a brother here that was an investment banker. I don't know, somewhere there. Yeah. So, aspiring. I'm also aspiring. Everything is in finance. Like, we're all aspiring to go to work in finance, man. Yeah, you reach out to somebody in, I don't know, Goldman Sachs or something, and be the person. And true story happened for a friend of mine. That was how he went to the UK. Was in both in Ibadan when Wedding sent me. He was first person we hired to do accounts. He was interning with somebody who was admitted, and then from there he just went. They did a whole round of recruitment, and then the person told him to apply. And then he applied, and then he went. So yeah, that's like, to me, I think that should have been number one. Like the fact that remote work does look good on your CV and can be like a stepping stone to get into corporate if you want to get into corporate. Yeah.
And that's like an addition to what Amy had given as well, shadowing.
Yeah.
So of course, this person that I just gave an example actually reached out to someone in line with what they want to be able to do, to say, look, this is what I would like to do. So when I see your profile, I like it. Is it possible that I just, watch you or work with you or whatever it is? Again, remember the example that I gave, is when you have worked with someone that then it is now easier for that person to now say, okay, there is an opening in my organization, go and apply. Would he have randomly just gone into his DM and then that person put in their own profile at stake and then ask them to apply? In that kind of organization, I'm not talking about any organization, that kind of organization.
She sounds very strict.
I am.
Very strict.
I am. So yeah, the other part, I just want to correct that motion I gave as well. The other part was, I was speaking to someone yesterday, and this person is over 50. They go from Omole phase 1 all the way to Lekki. They spend 3 hours going, 3 hours back. That's 6 hours in a day. Times that by 5. How many hours? Guys, help me out. 30. So that's not 30 for work. That's 30 hours getting to work. And that is even 30 hours on the day when trailer does not fall. And then we're all waiting, and then the road has to be cleared, and a 1 hour journey turns to like 4 hours. That's just 30 hours on the road. Let us think it for a minute.
Yeah,
that's 30 hours that could be of remote work. Somebody could have designed Canva links or Canva flyer or do you understand that 30 hours on the road? I don't know how many of you drive, but do you know at some point you have to go like this to relax, then relax, then you shout, then you remember that I prayed this morning that I shall not shout, then you take it back. So your heart is going through a lot of. So now imagine doing that for 5 years. Okay. So now, do you now understand my point when I'm saying about like compared? Yeah? Okay. So that was where I was coming from. The angle. Okay? Alright. The angle that I was coming from. Are you ready for us? Okay. So I worked with Vladimir before, so yeah. Why do you think, or what do you think are some important traits of successful employees, especially in a hyper-connected world as we have today?
I think the very first one is that you have to be reliable. Reliability is a trait that you cannot take out. Once you're not reliable, no matter how good you are, you miss it in some way. And of course, a lot of things I'm going to talk about are more personal experiences and stuff. So you can be amazing, you can be the best person, but once people cannot trust you to come through, that's the end. Then you have to be consistent. Because if you're good today and then terrible tomorrow, that's different from being reliable. If you're good today, but you can't follow up with what you came up with, people will look at you and be like, yeah, we don't know whether today is a good day or not. So they'll go find someone that they can trust to get the stuff done. So you need to be consistent as well. Another thing is you have to go beyond Nigeria. And I'll break that down because so go beyond Nigeria. Nigeria, by its very nature, has a lot of challenges that you have to deal with. And if you do not find ways to go past that, you will have issues. So my current internet subscription is about 200k per month for a reason. No, MTN 5G 1.5 stuff. And that's just like, oh, this is one out of, there is like backup to that. So I just said,
And the backup to the backup.
because when I started, there wasn't 5G, and I've been in stations where I've switched from. At some point, I had a line on every single network in this country. Just because, like, you can be in a place where it's MTN that is good. Then once you step outside of Lagos, Glow is the best network.
That's crazy.
Depending on how remote you go to, So these are things that are realities. You have to go beyond the challenges that Nigeria brings. Electricity. So sometime in 2020, stroke 2021, I had an interview, and it was a very interesting company in the sense that after they had shortlisted us to like the final 8, right, globally, I was the only one from Africa. India, Bangladesh, Canada, UK, and I'm trying to remember, it was one, just like 8 different countries like that. Okay, India had 2 people. So, bottom line, we started the session, you would interview the other person. So when you go around like that, when you're the one asking the question, they'll give you the question to ask, and then when you're the one that they're answering to, they will tell you what response you should expect from that person, and then you score them at the end of that interview. So you go around like that. When we started, my laptop was still on, so I joined on the laptop and started. And then at some point, my laptop died. I didn't have a generator because I didn't like the noise. Then I switched to my phone. The phone, by the third person, the phone was like really, really hot. So on the fourth person, my phone died. I had to restart it, bring power bank, all of that. So I didn't finish the time frame with the fourth person, and then I moved to the fifth person. I struggled through it. Of course, I didn't go past that point. But by the time we're done, the following week, went to buy inverter, changed my phone, bought the generator, and then basically that was, so when 5G, when they said they were launching 5G, I was like, starting that, right, you get to Bodija, and literally started out from Bodija in Ibadan. So you have to plan for all of these things, because there will be times when maybe wherever they have issues with the network, but it will be once in a blue moon compared to you that the MTN decides to wake up on Monday morning, your own is done for. Even my moving to Ibadan was just for, I need to be in a place where there's better network. When I was when I wanted to move out of Lagos, right, I went to Abeokuta, I tried out Akure, but I got to Ibadan. I was like, okay, fine, not bad. It was easy for me to connect, and then I just said, I was going to pick a place in Ibadan that, if anything is happening, it's going to start from that area. So, Bodija access to Secretariat, got the place there, moved there. So you have to transcend Nigeria now. Like, it's a constant battle.
Yes.
It's a constant battle. Then the last thing is, ambition is expensive. I already told you the cost of the internet, but beyond the financial part, there is the personal cost, there is the health cost, the mental cost to all these things. The people that you can't see because maybe you're in a meeting at 6 p.m. that they're going to club, and that's when my boss in the US is setting up, So, like, all those things, you have to have it at the back of your mind that no matter, and again, like she said, successful employees. So if you find being average, it's fine. You can find places that work for you. Just chill in that space. But if you're really going to be great at all of this, you're going to need to go through all and have it at back of mind. And this thing is going to be expensive. I have a mentorship session with someone here tomorrow by around between 12 and 2 sharp. I could be sleeping during that period. I could be watching a movie. I could be doing any number of things than that particular session. But that's the cost of all these things. If you have that at the back of mind, and at some point you ask yourself if the cost is worth it, but really, if you get to where you want to go to, you realize that it made sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, being successful is definitely very expensive, because when you were explaining that, one of the things that just came to my mind was, as a Nigerian working in a global organization or with other global clients, it's hard being the fact that, especially if you're the only African, it's almost like you have to rep. You don't want to be the one to leave the place with a bad, like, no, I must do everything, right? So you also have that at the back of your mind. And then you also now need to make sure, again, the other thing that then came to my mind when you were saying that also is, we no longer have excuse saying, oh, I'm Nigerian. We're not the only ones going through life issues. We're not the only ones going through bad governance, if there is any. We're not the only ones going through bad roads. We're not the only ones going through bad, like, we are not the only ones in the whole wide world. There are even some countries, there's some states in some countries that if you hear what they are going through, you'll be like, I think I'm okay in Lagos, right? So we no longer have that excuse of, oh, it's because I'm in Lagos. I have a colleague that every time anyone says, Nigeria, she'll be like, no, this thing is not only happening in Nigeria, we should stop it. It happens in Kiniko. She will actually tell you the country that the same thing is happening at. So it's now very even competitive that we no longer have that excuse of being that African, that everyone's supposed to feel sorry for, and everyone's supposed to have an extra reason, sympathy, thank you, that's the word. Oh, because she's in Nigeria, oh, she's not able to join because she's in Nigeria. No, you don't. Because guess what? Someone like Oluwapelumi in Ibadan is joining. So you that are now in Lagos, that live next to Glo, what now happens? Do you understand? So we no longer have that excuse. So, and once you can understand that mindset, there is also someone joining from India that is also going through probably worse than you are. What now happened? Add.
So one last thing is, you would have to, and again, still following on that transcending Nigeria, right, is there's this thing where if you're trying to have a meeting with Nigerians generally, so say this meeting is 10 and then you're joining by 10:05, and it's fine, you're probably the first person to join. If you try that anywhere else, you're your own, because they are already joined like 5 minutes to, and then they're gisting, and then you just start and instantly, all right. And they keep to time. They're not going, okay, maybe it's supposed to end by 11, and then, oh yeah, one last thing. There's no one last thing. We'll continue on Slack. Time management is very, very essential. One of the things I decided to do after, so I worked at the corner, like she said, so is once a meeting is supposed to start for 10, once it's 10:05, Benny, the HR person, would lock the meeting so you can't join anymore. So I started doing that with Nigerian companies because you find people. There was a place I joined, and then one guy was joining like 10:25. I'm like, I'm sorry. So at Pepper, when I joined Pepper, when I joined Pepper, the developer was joining at 10:25. I was like, oh, we forgot. I'm like, you're not going to be late for my meeting. The first time you're going to get a warning. The second time is going to be serious. And then that basically shamed everybody into doing it. So when you're late for a meeting, I ask you to go apologize to every member of the team on the general Slack channel for disrespecting them and not appreciating the time.
That's fine.
you know. So till everybody started to have sense. So yeah, as far as transcending Nigeria goes, there's a lot on that there, but that time thing is like very, very important.
Not to add a little something to that transcending Nigeria. So there's there's the individual aspect you can pick up, like the internet, the time, but to be honest, this is me being honest with everybody here. It's deeper than that. It is very, very cultural. We are very anyhow people. Like the Nigeria anyhowness, it comes out at the most unexpected time. You see yourself doing stuff that you honestly don't know that you can't do. And you have to, it's a conscious everyday. Yeah, granted, you put systems in place, you have people who talk to you, but you also have to consciously every day curb your anyhowness. Like we don't have a, I came with David, I was telling him on the way that Nigerians honestly think saying sorry fixes everything. Like, I don't get it. You said sorry, okay, I still have the right to be angry.
Oh, that's I shall still came.
Like,
shall what?
And we are begging Amber, hello. Like, it costs me time, money, energy. Your begging does not do anything. So it's that anyhowness that we need to, and it's because we really do not have a strong system of cause and effect, action and consequence.
Yes.
So people do not associate immediate consequence with many things. People understand, how do I put it? If you do something to an American, if American does something wrong and they get away with it, for the average American, that's a clear message not to try that again. Mm-hmm. For the average Nigerian, that's a clear message that they will do
10 times more.
Yes, they are doing that thing again. Because if they've gotten away with it once, what will stop them? Don't worry, I'll say more.
Now, do you have anything to add to this Nigerian word? I feel like you might have expressed even from clients as well and stuff. Yeah, go on.
I think, see, the person, it runs deep.
Yes.
And sometimes, when you find yourself in a space where they also call you Nigerian and you see another person behave that way, you're almost like trying to cover you and I say, hey, please, I'm not even Nigerian. Please, I'm not even Nigerian. However, these narratives, they are also very strong, so we must take responsibility. So, also say that I personally, I can't speak for anyone else, I have met very outstanding Nigerian talent, African talent, exceptional. I'll give an example. Before I joined, the company I joined, a global startup, fast growth, extreme fast growth. When they started in 2019, they hired their first set of Nigerians. And when I was joining, I was number 27. The company was about 8,000 employees. They told me something. They said, every Nigerian we have here are one of our best hands. They said, every Nigerian we have here are one of our best hands. My team, my entire department was really Nigerian, was really African, as a matter of fact. But every other, they had the best Nigerians, so they are always happy. Or if I didn't have entity in Nigeria when they were hiring, said we'll keep hiring you guys as contractors until we get an entity. You are the best talent. So we have to also take responsibility. It's just that it's unfortunate that the norm is shabby. It's just about their exceptional talent who behave well. They've done good job. They've cleared the road for you. When you came, you had soft landing. They transferred their reputation to you that you are an awesome talent. And I enjoyed that with a particular employer. Now let me tell you the stories I don't like. I don't like sharing the negative ones because I just like to be conscious of the ones that are good and face front and say, what can we do?
What can we do?
For the sake of why we're here, right? This is what I would say. Your mind. If this transcends you being a global talent and working and exporting your value, your mind goes, it needs an upgrade. The moment when I knew that this was important, because I had my learning path too. I was never always awesome. I learned through the good and the bad. And I will show up to, I think it's okay to show up 1 minute after 10 to my one-on-one with my manager. It's not okay. When he showed up in my performance review, I was like, that was just, like, what do you mean that was just one?
And I bet at that time, you didn't say anything at that 1 minute, so you're just thinking,
I was like,
it's okay.
Are you a witch? You noted that happened. You know, that was me. They noted it. You came a minute late. 8 months ago.
Yes.
were not sharp, but you were shabby. Because how dare you come to a one-on-one with your manager a minute late? Where did you? What's on your mind? What are you thinking of? Do you understand? So that mindset upgrade is needed for every one of us. I have to learn the hard way that it's not done that way. And you see that part of I'll do my work and move on. They say, see, she has ownership of our, but she's not open to any other. This is a startup, work flows anywhere. That attitude, you will learn it. You know how Nigerians can be like, it's not my business.
It's not my department.
I is my cup
It's not
of
like
tea.
JD.
If you break it, you fix it. Did I touch it?
I only walk past.
Was I there? That attitude again, you see, those are the mind upgrades for him. You cannot bring it to a global startup. A global environment. They will be like, where did they find you? We are a team. If one falls, all of us are falling. You must take ownership of everything. And say, solution-oriented conversation. I am in the middle of evicting somebody from my community and giving her a food refund. Because, where did you get this energy from? I welcome feedback. That's Nigerian again. You welcome feedback, but it must be constructive and solution-centered. You don't say, if it's late, it's late. You now just talk like, what's this? You must, as you are calling out the issue, you don't point fingers. Be telling me 2 million ways that you thought out how you can solve it. Please don't tell me the solution is she's that. And then, what happens after she's done? And when it's not my business, I just noticed that she's stuck. Okay, you're not one of us. You are out. So those mindsets is something that we have to learn. You must be a collaborator. You must be someone that shows up. You must be excellent at every point. It must not be known with you that she has uploaded her Slack status. Say network is bad. It's always bad. That it can't be. Sometimes network will be bad. I'm like, what's the solution? Oh yeah. Before they notice that somebody is not online, let's go and find. So don't be shabby. It will show up. They will put you if they're nice. They will put you on performance improvement plan (PIP) if they are nice. But if they are not nice, the next round of layoff, you'll be showing up, and you think that is your auntie. It's not. It's not. It's not your auntie. It is you who has not been excellent
At all times. Whether you're happy, whether you're broke, whether you're sad, whether they give you breakfast, whether you're not accepting breakfast, at all, when it comes to your work, when it comes to your clients, at all. Unfortunately, it's such a hard. I don't think it's a hard thing. I think it's just it's an adult thing. And if you want to be successful, it's something that you have to know. It's at all times. You see that thing that you were saying about meetings? Let me tell you what I did for my team. As always, Nigerians, we like to come in and it's always, one of the reasons why I am not 100% so always supportive of remote work in your 0 to 5 years of career or when you just finished uni. I like to put that clear. It's because people again come into meetings and they almost automatically expect you to accept their inefficiencies and their disrespects. You have a meeting, you are an adult, you have a calendar that says you have a meeting 10 o'clock. It's a meeting that happens every week, every Monday. Of course, except bank holiday, because somebody may have forgotten to cancel it on the calendar. No problem. But if you are still a young professional, you know. So tell me why this particular Monday, you just assume because you still need to, go and see your guy, you went for maybe a wedding, you're traveling back. It is that time you should be on the road where there is a bad network and you are the one that always presents for your team. But you think, 2 minutes to 10, you should just tell Belumi to say, do you mind covering? And Belumi too, let me know it's Belumi. Belumi too, maybe has his own pressure. It's like, no, I don't have time. I don't have a stable network. I cannot present that drive. Then you now put your inaccessiveness as a pressure to somebody else in your team. You now do what? You now join the meeting late. And it's a camera, because there are some meetings where they'll say cameras on. It's not that day. He now decide that. Camera, it's not on. You now join the meeting late. You have plenty problems already. 1, you're on the road. 2, you're not going to be able to put your camera on. Then you're not the one that now join the meeting late. 10 minutes. Then I'm like, everybody camera on. You now keep quiet, it's muted. You don't think that there is anything called courtesy to send them a message to the person, the organizer of the meeting, like, oh, you know what? I may not be able to. You just go quiet. You don't want. They won't see me. You know, there are 20 of us here. There's just a reason why somebody will not just notice that it's only me that does not have my camera on. Let's not like we've done that. Like they won't notice only Mona. They can't know.
I'll call
They
you
do.
out.
Exactly. They know. Right? And then you join the meeting. No apologies. You sneak in. Because again, you think that there is one manager on that call that has not gone to the participants to check who is here and who is not here. You now sneak in. You do it 3 times, 4 times. They're looking at you like, hey, sharp guy. They didn't see me. Oh, they did. They did. And that attitude again is what some of us carry into that remote industry, into that freelancing industry, into that global space as well. Because you have gotten away, you know, somebody, your HR is not bothered. Let me not use a woman now. Let me use a guy, because the guy is paying school fees. It's school fees period. It's just like whoa, like Dami said. When the next round of IELTS, that would just be the first person. So that person is not even interested in your development or even giving you feedback. But in your own mind, you think that calm me. They didn't catch me, so you know I'm good. I'm sharp like that. You're not. And that is that excellence again. Anyway, back to what I did to my team. The last person to join the team, any meeting that you will sing and you will turn on the camera. Whether you're walking on the road, you are in the bedroom, you are grinding pepper, you are in the market, you will put that camera on and you will sing. And they used to all sing, the last person to join the meeting. And people of God, when they did that 3 or 4 times, 20 minutes before that time, everybody's just on the call, just waiting. They are literally just waiting for 10 o'clock. Because you join that minute, instead there's always someone that takes notes. I did a rota, I have time for them. I don't have time to reply your email, but I have time for petty things like that. That you say you don't want to hear, you will hear. I will help you to hear. Then we had a rota, someone's the timekeeper, and then someone takes notes as well. You join the meeting late, you will sing with your camera on. I don't care what the background looks like, but you would sing. Then of course, by 1 year, everybody had sang all the songs we know. They had sang If You're Happy and You Know It. They had sang everything, gospel, whatever song. Then we turned it. Then people now said, stop taking it seriously. Oh, okay. You raise the bar. You buy lunch for the first 5 people that join the call first, and they will tell you what they want. And God help you that I wasn't the first top 5 people because you're going to buy Ocean baskets. I don't care how much salary it is. What happened again? People behaved and started respecting time. But you don't need to be treated that way for that to happen. And I'm sure it's going to tell me about that. Okay. All right. So, Dami. Do you have a question for me? Okay, so Dami. To round us up, because we only have like 5 more minutes. To round us up, and I won't take questions. So if you have any questions, just have them ready. And then you let us know who you want to ask. Please don't ask me because definitely we'll go more than 5 minutes. What do you think about the growth of remote work in Nigeria? And when it comes to global remote opportunities for young professionals in the country, what do you think about it? Like, what is your opinion? How much do you think it will grow? Do you think there is more opportunity for growth? Which I'm sure there is. Go on.
The question is in 2 parts. You said,
what do you think?
What do I think about the growth of Nigeria and
do you see it growing?
The future of it?
Yes.
Okay, let me just tell you a quick story. 1 minute. Let me tell you a quick story about. In the past 5 years, right, and I'm using COVID as a landmark. Remote work had existed way before COVID, but many people did not realize or were conscious of it or were even trying to find opportunities. But using COVID as a landmark, remote work between then and now has escalated. Think of your circle. Just think of your circle. Don't look at data yet. Sadly, we don't even have a lot of data. But just think of your circle. In 2020, how many people did you know as an individual who worked remotely internationally? How many people? Could you count 2, 3 people as of that year, 2019? Most of us can't. Now think about today. How many people do you know that work remotely? We are using you as a statistics. How many? Like a lot. Like you can count maybe 5, 10 people and say, she works, she does. They work remotely internationally. That's data. Let's just use this as sample group. And that is data for you. That is to show you that there is a lot of traction. It is growing. The perception of it is a different conversation, but remote work is growing. Now let's talk about tangible data. How many of you know Deal? Deal is one of the top EORs in the world. There are about 3 of them. Deal, DEEL. By the way, if you are looking for a job, you should check it out too. So now they did their IRA report last year because we don't have data for this year yet. And what they said was that Africa, no, I'm going to be very precise. Nigeria is one of the hotspots of rising remote global talent in Africa. Like, they're not even in Africa, in the world. Nigeria is rising. Like, they are hiring a lot of clients. Now, they have, the reason why they can have that data is because they have clients. Clients hire through them. So a lot of clients are spotlighting Nigeria to hire from out of Nigeria compared to what was happening a couple of years ago, right? So it's an hotspot. There are a couple of other countries in the same bucket. You know, South Africa, Egypt, Kenya. That's what we spotlight. I've worked at one of the top URs before, and when clients ask us, Odami, we want to hire from out of Africa, what countries should we be looking at? Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Egypt. That's all. Well, today I have from other places, yes. But you will see a whole global startup have half of their team from South Africa or Nigeria. Like, that is happening every time. So that is one thing you should know. Yes, so it's growing really fast. That's what I want to establish. We can also talk about the money that comes in. You know how, do you guys know how GDP work? I want to I'm talking to adults. So if you don't know how GDP works, you can read it up outside now. The money that you make, do you understand that you, I make, government, private businesses, everything adds up. That's what we use to calculate it now. The money that has come in right now, as we're grossing 3 trillion. No, sorry, that's wrong. We are grossing over 2 trillion, close to 2 trillion, and by the time the projection is that by 2030, 5 years time, we'll be close to 3 trillion, and I think it's wrong. If I speak by the rate at which things are going right now, with so many mega trends, AI being one of them, we are going to, that 3 trillion is kind of over an underestimation. We could be crossing, do you guys, can you imagine 3 trillion? I don't know if you are thinking, it's pause.
Yes.
Now think of 3 trillion. That's a whole lot of money. How much do we make from oil? So it's telling you that we've been perceiving before now that it's a Gen Z way of working. That's not what remote work is. It's economic power. It's global export. And we as individuals, we say, government should take it seriously. You. Are you thinking of, take it seriously?
Yes.
We're not talking, oh, then I get to wake up 2 minutes before my work hour starts. That's the perk, but that's not the focus. It's economic power. The money you make really affects its economy. Why? You will buy. Are you guys thinking holistically? You will buy. Businesses will do better. They will grow more. You will capture value. You will send your child to better schools. Those who have the better schools, they will establish better schools because you can pay. There's buying power. Better hospitals. See, it's all impacting it. It's economic power. So it's not Gen Z way of working. That's not the concept. It is economic raw power. That's the way. When I'm talking about remote work and advocacy, I'm saying, take it seriously, guys. It's raw power. We're exporting talent everywhere. So it's going to go. The future, is as bright as it can ever be. And I'm going to put numbers to it. I'm talking about how much we'll be making later. If you get a good job, average job in Nigeria now, you'll be making about 50K, 60K, 70K every month, every year. Just look at that. Now let's add up all of us, just all of us in this room, and just before we talk about everybody in Nigeria. So it's not going to stop, and there's so many factors that will play into what will happen. So many factors. World economic trend, climate, travel bans, trade treaties, AI, tech, all join. They will all contribute to what happens, and guess what? There are more pros than cons. It's going to only push it further. So the future is bright now. Let's think of, let me get remote work and be living like a big girl. Let us think of, I'm exporting talent, making the world a better place, building companies that are making a difference in people's lives. When we wake up, help the company, this is the vibe. We'll say, oh, let's make the world a better place. We do not think our work is just, pushing papers. We are saying, we are making the world a better place. That's the approach. So it's not getting anything, it's not getting smaller, it's not going to be derailed. If anything, it's going to grow beyond our wildest expectation. And if you missed any mega trend before, don't miss remote work. Start to position yourself now. You have a runway. We are saying 2030. You have 5 years. That's a lot of runway. I mean, I built a meaningful personal brand in 1 year. 9 months. By the way, if you are talking global talent and you don't have a personal brand that we know, you've not started. Because what are you talenting? So anyway, that's another conversation. But the idea is to position yourself because it's not going anywhere and it's beyond the way of life.
Thank you. In less than 1 minute, because we are so out of time to get the mic. I want to ask you, is there future in this? Because clearly we all know your answer. However, what do you think are the 3 key things or key characters or key features that anyone that is going to definitely tap into this remote work industry that Dami just explained should have or be ready to have to be successful in that 3 trillion industry?
I didn't even know anything about that. One is constantly be evolving, like stuff are changing every day.
2,
Constantly.
be evolving.
Yeah.
Evolving skills wise, learning.
Every day be different,
Yes.
better. Stuff are changing every day. 2 is, I'll probably say build community. Have people around you that you share the same, like similar objective, and you people are moving in the same direction. And the 3rd thing, which is for me, it's something I had to come to terms with recently, is learn how to tell stories. Like now more than ever, because with AI, what's it called? Implementation is becoming much cheaper. So whatever it is you think you're doing, writing a doc, updating this, monitoring numbers, analytics, writing code, it's going to get much cheaper. You have to be able to communicate your thoughts, your ideas in the way that can stir up the most emotion in people. So yeah, learn how to tell stories. That's it.
Thank you. So, do you want to add 2 more to that? Then we can stay up. So, what are the 2 things to tap into that Dami's 3 trillion? Like you referred that Dami's 3 trillion remote industry. What are the things that any freelancer, any remote worker definitely need to have or build towards having 2?
So I'm just going to piggybacking of something that they said, right? Some of the right now I have like 18,000 followers on LinkedIn, and how I got to that point was basically looking at my industry globally, US, UK, Singapore, and a few other places, and then look at the top people in each country. And then I added them aside, following like what they've done and what they do constantly. There are growth communities that I paid north of like $100 per month or something to join, just so that I could get that. So you have to constantly be willing to learn. You have to find the community of people who are better than you, who've gone ahead of you. And again, this is not just for remote work, because remote work is still work, which means that the most important part of it is the work. That work still has to be done. So find the people that you can learn all those things from. So by the time you're doing that, from Nigeria and all of that, you are at that level where people need to be. Not just, we're doing it at Nigeria. There are campaigns that you can't even run in Nigeria now simply because certain people can't understand it. So you're thinking every single step of the way is, what are people doing in other countries, in other spaces, the kind of results they're getting, the kind of work and ethic that they're putting into it to get those results. How are you going to do it to achieve similar stuff, despite your challenge here? So once you think about that, figure it out, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Let me make that clear. There will be things that you think, fine, this person did it worked, and then you try it, it won't work. But one of the things that you have to constantly do is keep moving. try stuff, iterate, try stuff. The personal brand thing that she mentioned, at some point I was thinking, oh yeah, I was going to build like a full personal brand and all that. I had my logo, I had all of that, I had my colors, and started creating the content. But at some point, so I just got tired of, I couldn't, it was hard to focus on that and then still get the work done. So you make mistakes, you try stuff that will work, you try stuff that won't work, you think, oh, that this thing going to fly, but once you have that in the back of your mind, that the most important thing is that for you to constantly improve while you're picking from all those different places, and basically one thing, just I'm going to be global, and for me to be global I need to be excellent, and every other thing that you're going to do has to tie into that. Thank you.
Thank you. So we've come to the end of this panel. Yeah, so